Hello and welcome. I am Tamara and I teach beginner sewing tutorials here on YouTube. Now today's project is a 2-for-1. You can make a chapstick holder, but which one? That's up to you. Let me know in the comments down below which one you end up deciding to make. This one does use a zipper. If you have zipper tape, this is the perfect project to get used to zipper tape and figuring out how it functions. This is a super easy project, even though it looks complicated. But if you're not there yet, I totally get it. And that's why I wanted to show you this one, because this one, no zippers, it's still adorable. It still has the little clasp there, and of course, holds your chapstick. So let me know in the comments down below which one you like more. Now let's jump on in and get started. You will need one longer piece of fabric cut 6 inches by 2.5 inches, two shorter pieces of fabric cut 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches, and then you will need one small piece of fabric cut 2 inches by 2 inches, and then finally a small piece of fusible fleece, and that is cut 3.5 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. And then if you want, you can use a nice little clasp like this to add to the final project. Your longest piece of fabric will become your pocket. So grab that, fold it in half, and then just press the crease so it's nice and flat. Then grab your smallest piece of fabric and that will become our little loop. So fold that in half, press in a crease, and then fold those outer edges in towards that center for giving it that final fold and clipping along that folded edge. Then grab one of the smaller pieces of fabric and you want to fuse your fusible fleece batting to the back of that. Just center it in place and then attach it the way your fusible fleece instructions tell you to. For myself, I just use my iron, add some heat, and it melts the glue nicely, and now it is attached to that back piece of fabric. That piece you will see behind the pocket. Then go to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch across the top fold of your pocket. You can do 2 stitches to give it a nice professional look, and then sew along both sides of that little tab that we created. Now grab your back piece of fabric that has the fusible fleece attached, lay your pocket along that bottom edge with, of course, the folded stitched edge along that top section, and then fold your little tab in half, creating a nice little loop. Center it along that top edge and clip that in place as well. You will then take this to your sewing machine and just sew an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance across that folded tab, as well as along all 3 sides of the pocket. This is just to temporarily hold everything in place. Now let's make a little sandwich. So take that back piece of fabric and lay it right sides on top of our finished panel that you created with that little pocket. Pin around the entire thing, and then mark at least a 2-inch opening along one of those long edges. If we flip this over, we can see our fusible fleece, and our fusible fleece is going to be our guide. So start 1 inch up from one of the sides. Start with a back stitch and then slowly sew around the entire edge of the fusible fleece. Do not sew on the fusible fleece, but just beside the fusible fleece. And then, of course, stop 1 inch down once again from that one side and stop with a back stitch. Now you can see we've got a nice little opening here that we can turn our project right side out, but we don't want to do that yet. Grab a pair of scissors and cut along the edge of that final sewn seam that you just did. So the seam that followed the fusible fleece. Just trim away all of that excess fabric, except for where that opening is. I like to leave a little bit of extra fabric there. That way it makes it easier to tuck it inside later on. And one more thing before you turn it right side out, just fold that tab over and give it a finger crease. It will make it easier to tuck those little tabs in later once everything is turned right side out. So reach on in and gently turn everything right side out. grab something like a chopstick to gently push out those corners. Now, I was literally thinking about how I needed to tell you to be very gentle when you are pushing out your corners, and I popped through one of the edges. So, this right here is why you need to be very gentle. I also realized later that when I sewed that seam around my fusible fleece, I actually stayed using a top stitch. Big mistake. When you are sewing around that fusible fleece, go back to a normal stitch length. Very, very important. And then I don't think I would have popped through that end a little bit there, but that's okay. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue later on, and this is still a workable project. Once all of those corners have been gently pushed out, then fold the tabs on in and clip along that open edge. You will then take this to your sewing machine and sew around the entire project, once again using a top stitch and about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Start and stop with a back stitch, and when you are starting that seam, start on a side, not on a corner, because when you start your seam on a corner, you will get frustrated. Your sewing machine will try to chew up your project instead of sewing your project. Next, add your little hook to the top and add a little bit of chapstick into that pocket and be proud of what you have officially created. All right, so we've made this very simple chapstick holder, and now it's time to jump into zippers. I dare you. If you've never done zippers before, I dare you, give it a try. You are going to love it. I know it seems intimidating, but you can do it. And of course, before I jump on into this tutorial, if you guys are liking this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that this is a good video to share with others, and hit that subscribe button so you don't lose me here on YouTube. All right, let's jump on in to version 2. You will need 2 pieces of fabric cut 4.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then 1 piece of interfacing cut 4 inches by 5 inches, 1 piece of fabric that will become your loop cut 4 inches by 2 inches, and then 2 extra little scrap pieces of fabric. They don't have to be a specific size. You will also need around 7 inches of zipper tape with nylon teeth, because then I can cut it. And then, of course, you will need a zipper pull as well as a nice little clasp. Starting with one of the pieces of fabric that will become your outer fabric, grab your interfacing and center it along the back of that, and then attach it to the fabric following your interfacing's instructions. I will link to some of my favorite interfacings in the description down below if you're curious. Then we will prep our loop by grabbing our 2-inch by 4-inch piece of fabric, folding it lengthwise and pressing it, and then folding those long edges in towards that center crease, giving it a final fold, clipping along that folded edge, and then take that to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch along both long edges. Lay your outer fabric right side face up, grab your zipper tape and separate it. Then lay those edges of your zipper face down on your outer fabric, then clip it in place. Grab your other piece of fabric that is 4.5 inches by 5.5 inches and lay it right side on top of all of this. Then adjust your clips so that your zipper is still exactly where you want it, but you are now holding all of this fabric together, creating a sandwich. Using your zipper foot, sew along both of those edges, securing your zipper in place. Then turn this little sandwich right side out. Give it a finger press along the zipper's edge so that all of that fabric is nice and crisp. Take it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch along the top edge of that fabric. It will just give it a really nice look, and it will hold the lining and the top fabric away from your zipper pull. And now it is time to add that zipper pull. Now I love using this handy dandy little tool here, and I will definitely link to it in the description down below. Such a helpful tool because I always feel like I need a third hand when I'm trying to add my zipper pull to my zipper tape. So I find it so helpful that it holds the zipper head in place so I can just pull the zipper tape on through. That long narrow piece of fabric you top stitched earlier, fold it in half and then cut it so that you will have two small pieces. These will become your loops on both ends of your zipper. It is at this point that you can also trim away the excess of your zipper tape so it's nice and flush with those raw edges. If your pouch is facing right side out at this point, make sure to flip it so that the lining fabric is face out. And then pull your zipper so that it is closed halfway. Then fold one of your little pieces of fabric in half so that will become your first tab. Tuck it inside the end of our little pouch, making sure that it's the closed end of your zipper. Then grab the other one, add your little clasp to it, and fold it around that clasp, tucking that into the open end of your pouch. You want it on the open end because that is the end that when the zipper is closed, the clasp will be at the top end of the zipper. It's at this point that you can use a marking pen to mark all four corners, or you can do what I'm doing and cut away a tiny triangle from all four corners. Then use that side marking as your guide to push it towards your zipper tape. It doesn't have to go past where the zipper tape sits, but just push it towards the zipper tape and then clip it in place. Do that on all four corners. Take this to your sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance across both of those raw edges. And of course, start and stop with a back stitch. And then finally, we want to cover up these ugly raw edges. So grab some of your scrap fabric, line it up with that raw edge and clip it in place. Then sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, or a tiny bit more than a 1/4 inch seam allowance across that raw edge. Do that on both of those sides. Once again, start and stop with a back stitch. Then flip it over, and as you can see, you've got a little bit of fabric sticking out past both of those sides. Now I think I've got a little too much. I really only need about a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to trim away a little bit of the excess of that fabric. And then if your fabric is a little bit too long as well, you can trim it. So make sure it has about 3/4 of an inch sticking past that raw edge. I did trim all of this a little bit shy of what I probably should have, but the measurements I'm giving you right now are the better measurements. As you can see, I'm struggling to fold that side edge in. I wish I would have given myself an extra 1/4 inch there, which is why I said give yourself a 1/2 inch, because you will be folding those side edges in, and then that long edge, you will fold it towards the raw edge and then over one more time. And to be honest with you, this is going to end up inside your pouch and nobody is ever going to see this. You just want to cover up that raw edge. So once everything is folded over and tucked in, clip it in place, take it to your sewing machine, and sew a seam along that folded edge. That will hold your hem in place nicely. And this is what those hems look like once they're folded over and sewn in. And now it's time to turn our project right side out, which is, of course, why we had to leave our zipper open a little bit. Start pushing out those little corners and you have got yourself the most adorable little chapstick pouch. I just love how these turned out. Let me know in the comments down below which version you end up making. And if you're looking for some more fun alternatives, last week I actually talked you through how you can sew this adorable little pouch. They are all scrap friendly, which I love because I always end up with way too many scraps. I hope you guys are having fun sewing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.